finding your passion. I haven't got my van yet, but one of the things that I've really realized in the meantime is that I have a passion. I feel like I found something. I used to actually even research, Google, how to find your passion. There is no one passion. We have multiple passions in our life. Passion is anything that gives us energy. And this whole van life journey is giving me so much energy, and it really hasn't even started yet. So I wanted to share a little bit with you about finding your passion. Starting this journey has allowed me to learn to be a lot more vulnerable in my life. I'm definitely being vulnerable sitting here and talking to people that I don't even know who's on the other end of this. 18 years ago, I watched my little sister take her last breath. And with all the hurt and everything that came out of that, I really learned how to close myself off. I didn't want to be that vulnerable ever again in my life. And then in the meantime, I would just be robbing myself of such great joys. I had my son, and I knew for the first time in my life what actual true love was. I used to always think that love was just something that people made up to make themselves feel better. When I held that little boy in my arms, it was undeniable. He became my passion. I started letting myself be a little more open, and everything about him, his sports, his school, any extracurriculars, his friends, any little passion that he had was my passion, and I was living through him. And so now the scary part is he is leaving, and I am so panicked about empty nesting. And the other day I ran across a friend, and she told me she was worried about the same thing. But the time before the last child actually left was harder worrying about it happening than when it actually happened. Oh my God, the absolute relief that I felt to hear that was absolutely amazing. So I wanted to share that with you. Now I'm learning to find out what is my passion. Not my child's, not my family's, not a partner's. What do I really want? So many sites will tell you to, especially if you're a single parent, if you are going to be an empty nester, start dating again. All over the place. They'll be like, the top 3 things to do as an empty nester, start dating again. Hell no. If I'm gonna date someone, it's gonna be me. I want to get to know me. I want to get to know what my hopes and dreams are. I think that's the best possible thing that I can do right now. So I'm gonna not just survive through this, I'm gonna thrive. I am gonna let this new motivation just drive me to all sorts of different heights. I'm always gonna be his mom. That's never gonna change. He's always gonna be my baby boy. That's never gonna change. He is always gonna need me at some point. Yes, our relationship's gonna change, but it's going to be an exciting thing to see all the other things going on in his life. And honestly, do I really want my child to leave home and be robbed of his joy because he's worried about how I'm doing? Don't need to worry, buddy. Mom's got this one under control. I'm dreaming again. And it's amazing, you know, we used to have these big dreams when we were kids. We knew all these things we wanted to do. The world was so exciting. And then as we got older, disappointments came in, naysayers came in. You know, the struggle was real. And I think that's a problem for so many of us adults, is that we have forgotten to dream. Well, I'm dreaming again. And it just grows and grows and grows. It's so amazing because I started with this dream of van life, which is turning out to so many other ideas that I have. Now that I'm dreaming big and bigger, I keep a pen and paper everywhere I go because these ideas are just popping, and it's awesome. It's so invigorating. Maybe not all these ideas are gonna work, but I'm dreaming, and that is huge to me. In fact, one of the things I'm dreaming about is when I get this van, I get it fixed up, this summer, a safe start for me, because I'm not prepared to give up my job, is I'm going to do the Great Saskatchewan Tour. I'm going to take the summer off, and I'm going to travel around Saskatchewan because so many people describe us as stubble jumpers and you can see your dog running away for 3 days. Where I live, you probably can, but there's so much more to that. If you were driving through Saskatchewan on the #1 highway, it is the most boring drive ever. Just another Saskatchewan day. That doesn't showcase anything that we have. So that's one thing that I definitely want to do, is promote the province that I love, even when we have extreme weather warnings for how cold it is right now. Fear. Fear is probably the biggest thing that stops us from dreaming. Afraid to be vulnerable, afraid to maybe lose a couple bucks, afraid to... Fear can be physically debilitating for some people, right? But the thing that a lot of people don't realize is that fear, that jittery feeling you feel sometimes inside, is the same feeling as excitement. You know, when you get to the butterflies and it just comes up, those fear and excitement are two very similar feelings. And I think if we know that, we can actually control which direction we're going to let that energy go, and we're going to use it to propel us forward.